Now we're going to talk about the third card in the Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot, which is called the Magus-Trickster card. If you look at this one compared to the other two, it's more golden god-ish. It also looks like a Greek relief where the man is turned on his side and sort of frozen like a gold statue. So I call this the King Midas touch card. So think of the story of King Midas, and remember he said, anything I touch, I want it to turn to gold. So he touched his wife and she turned to gold, and everything turned to gold, and suddenly it wasn't the best idea. In life, there is always the dance related to communication. So the first card, the entrepreneur card, we were learning the skills that we need in order to communicate our thoughts and our ideas. The second card, we needed to learn to communicate with ourselves and go inward. And now this card says we do need to understand and learn the skill that's related to deception and trickery. Because if we don't understand that skill, other people can use it against us and we will be very naive. So this is the card of drug dealers, liars, deceivers. If somebody pulls this card and says, I want to know about my boyfriend, and they pull this card, oh, I'm going to get a little bit nervous because I know that there's some sort of deception going on, some sort of lie going on. Now, that deception could be very, very minor because it's really hard for all of us to stay totally honest all of the time. But in life, you have to learn to be able to detect your own self-deception as well as the deception of others when something is ringing true or it's not completely ringing true. So this card is sort of frozen. It's kind of like, be careful what you ask for. You might just get it. Because deception is also about greed. And so this is about, I want money, I want more. And if you look at the background of this card, it looks like swirling snakes. So that's kind of a clue that there's something darker or more negative that's going on in the background that you might have to learn to transmute, because snake is always about learning about the negative in life in order to transmute it to a positive. Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until we've been challenged by the negative. Now you also will see at the bottom the monkey Hanuman again, but this time his hands are in front like this. And if you saw somebody do this to you, it would be like, stop. You need to stop right now. And so that's the game. That Hanuman is warning you that you better take a look before you do this. You need to check, and you need to double check because something is not completely clear. Also, if you look at the caduceus at the very top, remember earlier I said that the bigger the caduceus, the more power it is. Well, this is a big caduceus. It takes up the whole top part of the card, which means that power, money, influence, me, my, mine, is extremely important. And again, if you look at the different elements, which represent the discs, which is earth, the air, which is the mind, the fire, which is the wands, and the energy, and the cups, or the chalice, which represents the feelings and emotions. The big one is the coin, which means they want the money. So when you get this card, you're either deceiving yourself, or you could be being deceived by someone else. But for sure, you don't have the whole story. So what I would do is I just start asking questions. What do I need to know that you're not telling me? What are you holding back? What are the consequences if I do this? What would happen if it didn't work? I would start asking the questions and learn to discern deception, learn to be able to detect when somebody is not telling you the whole truth. And this can be very difficult because sometimes people don't know that they're lying. So to me, there's a difference between a conscious lie and an unconscious lie. A conscious lie means you know you're lying to me, and now I know you're lying to me, and that's obviously got more yucky karma with it. But then there's also an unconscious lie, which means someone else told you something and they believed it was true. So now you believe it is true because you trust them, and you're actually lying, but you actually don't know you're lying. And so that's not as bad karmically. So this card is about communication, but it's about learning the skills of communication and deception. You can learn this and go to the dark side, which means you can learn the skills of lying and deception and make them go darker. Or you can learn the skills of what I call a positive thought virus. How can you choose your words in such a way that you guide someone towards their highest self? And you might have to put in a little white lie in order to motivate that person to go forward, but that would not be the negative side of this card. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that.